Welcome to Rezzed. It's still raining, and we're actually sat here with Stainless Games with Ben, who is going to chew our ear off regarding Carmageddon in every way, shape, and form. But actually, there's two of us sat here for this one, because I couldn't seem to get rid of you.
Good luck.
This is because you're a bigger Carmageddon fan than me by not much.
By not much, a country mile.
So, Ben, you tell us a bit about you and joining Stainless and all that stuff first before we jump into it.
Okay.
Let everyone know who you are.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I'm the production director at Stainless Games now, and I've been working there directly for about 6 years. But before that, when the original Carmageddon 1 game was released, I was a tester. So I tested. I tested the first game and the second game, Karma 1 and 2. But I worked for SCI, who were the publisher of the game at the time, who were in Southampton. I've played Karma 1 and Carmageddon 2 more than probably most other people.
So it must make you really happy then to see Carmageddon 1 coming back out on GOG soon, and everyone being able to relive that wonderful start of the franchise then.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it was a fantastic time. It's a bit that I look back in my career has been a fantastic time, and as a games player, it's a fantastic time. And we get people all the time. We've had people for the last 6 years I've been there. We get people emailing us every single week saying, "Please bring back Carmageddon." And up until this point, we haven't been able to do that. And now getting it back out on GOG. So it's remastered, so it works on current Windows, which is what people have been asking for.
Because
it's
there's a lot of issues with older games and that, especially Carmageddon is quite old now.
Yeah, 15 years ago it was. Yeah.
Nearly old enough to drink. So
Way to make me feel old. Way to make me feel really old.
So I have a question for you quickly. How old were you when you first started playing the original Carmageddon then?
I must have been about 16 when I got hold of it. It had been out a while when I first played it, because it was one I didn't see it coming, and Mate had it on his PC. Here, try this. And next, we all went out and bought copies, and we sat getting drunk the next weekend after, 8 of us on a local LAN. It was brilliant fun. Just the daft humour in it. It was it's so non-serious, because I'm not very good at most games I play, and a lot of the other guys are really good, especially at racing games. And it takes that edge off, just the daft comedy of being able to just take the guy out.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really awesome to actually see that they are, they're working with the source code, the guys at GOGS, and to make sure that the game does run on Windows, but also that it does have that LAN support and everything else, so that it's just working, and it's giving everyone a true look at Carmageddon rather than giving them half a look.
Yes, it should be the original Carmageddon 1 running on modern Windows machines.
But of course, you've also got coming out your brand new one as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So, Carmageddon Reincarnation.
Yes.
Which we basically trying to reboot the Karma brand and
bring it into the new age, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah. It's taken all the best bits of the original. And then revamping it and adding some extra bits in, and then making the whole thing look modern day.
Which is really great, because you've got all of these other games, these new games that have come out that are running around acting like, they're big and almighty, and then Carmageddon's just going to come along and basically show them, that you've been around for a while and you know how it works, and really kind of put them in their place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Carmageddon 1 had real 3D physics. It had deformable meshes on the cars. Karma 2, you could split the car in half. There was you could put a mace, a Morning Star thing that would swing along behind the
which
tail
was really ahead of its time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like the first, Carmageddon 1 particularly was the first game to do any of those things. And now you see, I mean, they're pretty much commonplace now.
Yeah.
But looking back, it's just that it was an amazing feat. And to be able to make that happen again is brilliant.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, quite ahead of its time.
Yeah, definitely. Very much so.
I think a lot of that, the way a lot of games have taken a lot of the things that Carmageddon did, and they've become mainstream elements to games now.
Yeah, well,
you said, the physics on the cars,
the physics,
deformable meshes, the way the car changes, and breaks in different ways has been taken and used all over now.
Yeah, and it took actually numerous years for other games to follow that up as well.
Some still haven't even got it right to this day. You still see games that just... It's amazing that something like that has now been around for so long, and yet they still aren't able to get it just right. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys do with this, with information. So, of course, we have to mention the Kickstarter campaign. You guys brought out the game and announced it and started showing it off, and then you ended up with a little bit of financial difficulty. And just kind of, it looked like you weren't going to be able to put everything in it that you truly wanted, or you may have had issues in certain areas. And then this whole Kickstarter phenomenon really took off and really exploded and gave guys like you an opening and gave you the way to get what you want. And of course,
definitely.
Carmageddon has a big following. And it must have been wonderful to launch that Kickstarter campaign and just see those numbers start ticking up and see that people still want Carmageddon.
Yes, very, very much so. The thing with it, so we managed to get the license back, so we had full control of our baby again, which was great. And then what are we gonna do with this now? Okay, we obviously know we want to re-release the original stuff. We want to make something new. Of course, these things don't come cheap.
No.
So what we started to do was we just started essentially like a kind of a skunk's work. In the actual office itself, just a few guys, lock them in a cupboard, tell them to start working on it. But of course, that sort of thing takes a long time. It's not like you're producing, a small game. It's a big old thing. Yeah. So we went around and we spoke to publishers and tried to find sort of ways of getting some funding, but. This day and age, if your game isn't part of a multi-billion-dollar franchise, it doesn't fit a publisher's portfolio, or isn't copying the latest internet gaming trend, they're just gonna they don't want to see you unless you've already made the game essentially.
Yeah, there are two real ways in, like you say, the Kickstarter, or like a lot of other games are taking at the moment, going the free-to-play route and selling aesthetics to basically fund the game.
Yes, yeah. Now we obviously thought about free to play. Found it doesn't really fit well with Stainless as an ethos. I mean, I personally, while some free to play games work very well, some of them you just get the feeling that they're just trying to. It's like a money grabber.
So I agree.
What with the Kickstarter. What that was is the thing that was brilliant about it is it gave us an opportunity to actually connect with fans directly. So one, we can go, okay, we know there's people out there. We know there's people all over the world that love Carmageddon because they email us all the time. And then we just went out there and said, okay, guys, if you want it,
put
here
your
it
money
is.
Where your mouth is.
Yes, exactly. And they responded, which was fantastic.
Yeah, it is really nice to see. I'm a massive fan. I can't wait to see the new incarnation.
Yeah, me too.
Play, how much fun it's going to be.
Yeah, we already have loads of fun in the office playing it.
So I have to ask, given that you, Stainless Games guys, you're kind of a little bit outside the norm when it comes to a studio. You went and approached all these big publishers, you said, regarding it, and I have to ask, given how old Carmageddon is, I'm going to guess some of them turned around and was like, why would we're not going to invest in this? It's old. It's gone. It's had its day. You're done. And so now that you've got the Kickstarter finance, you're actually got everything rolling. You're going to make Carmageddon the way you want to make it. It must be kind of like giving them the middle finger. I'm going to phrase it like that because you guys, I'm pretty sure, would phrase it like that as well. Am I right?
Well, yes, a little bit. We have to
more diplomatic.
We have to be polite at the same time, but
it must feel
yes,
good.
it is like it's great to be able to stand up and go. You know what? We're doing this. We're doing it on our own. We're a UK independent studio, and yeah,
you said it couldn't be done, and here we are, proving that we've got the fan base they do want, and it will sell.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, just to show them all.
So, thank you very much for your time. We're going to have to wrap it up and let you go and have a look at all of the wonderful stuff. I have to ask very quickly, have you actually managed to take a look at anything inside yet?
I've just had a quick whiz round and had a quick look.
Is there anything that takes your fancy?
Well, I've played Terra a little bit beforehand, so it was nice to see some people actually sort of playing it, see how other people. I had a quick go. They did a 7-day trial, which had a quick whiz round. and there's an alien guy dressed up as an alien in there,
Yes.
which I want to go and see him as well.
Excellent, wonderful.
Give him a Chinese burn.
Thank you very much for taking time out of your hectic schedule to sit down and sit with us. Have you got any kind of release schedule set up for Reincarnation yet, or is it still completely...
What we're saying at the moment is February 2013.
Wonderful.
That's when we're going to be doing it as an iterative release on PC. So that's going to be the very first sort of iteration of it. And then we should see further content go through the...
Wonderful. Well, have you got any final things to say?
It covered everything I was going to ask just at the end there.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time, and we'll let you get back to having a look around.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.